Okay, in today's video about Telcoin, I want to check out this part of the price action specifically and check out the structures in here and tell you why we can actually identify some optimistic signs, but I'm going to also tell you those signs personally. And again, this is just my own opinion. For me, they're not really enough. So with that said, hi everyone, welcome back. I hope you're having a great time with your family and loved ones. And if you remember in the previous video, when we were right around this area, the idea in Telcoin was that maybe we are having an A, B, C on the upside and not an impulse. And this suggests, well, okay, we are going to have probably some more moves down in order to take the lowest low down here about, let's say, 0.0048. And I said, taking this important low will actually confirm our bearish possibility in the short term. Now, overall, in my opinion, in TEL, we are having a correction starting from this point and ending to somewhere around the recent price action, maybe even a bit lower. And the general pattern, it's going to be, you know what I'm about to say in case that you are a regular viewer, an A, B, C in form of an expanded flat. And for the subwaves, we must have ABC down into A, ABC, or maybe a WXY up, not really important, into B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into our C leg. And by the way, inside of our wave 1, 3, and 5, we must also be able to find 5 waves on the downside for their subwaves. Now let's go on the live chart and see what is happening. So, in my opinion, from this point, this is probably an ABC down, followed by that a very beautiful ABC on the upside with probably, I would say, a triangle into our wave B. And then from this side, we are having most likely a 1, 2, 5 wave down into wave 3 to about here, maybe like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 correction for 4. And I said maybe in Telcoin this is going to be a 1, 2, 3, and the current move up in the previous video, I said maybe it's just going to be a correction for 4, and this suggests we may see another move down into wave 5. But at that point, I'm hoping that will be at the end of our whole correction structure in form of an ABC expanded flat, and that means from these areas we can expect a very strong bounce back. Now let's go on some lower time frames and count some waves and see what is happening. And I think we can identify two different possibilities in this area. First things first, please ignore this shadow and also this one, because when you go on, for example, crypto.com's chart, you realize that we don't really have the shadows. And if you want to ignore that, I think you can say maybe this is 1, this is 2, and then from this point to about here, 5 down into wave 3. And there is a chance that in TEL, we're going to have a corrective movement into wave 4 and possibly one more move down into wave 5. And I'm hoping that at that point, our move down is going to be over and we're going to have like a very, very strong recovery phase. On the other hand, I guess there is a scenario indicating that maybe this is the end of our wave 4 right in here, and this might be the end of our wave 5. And because in it we didn't take the low of our wave 3, well, okay, this is a truncated wave 5, and I know a lot of you are going to say right now truncated waves are extremely rare. Sure, fair enough, but they are actually a possibility. So based on what we talked about in Telcoin, we can say either the bottom is in right in here, or maybe we are going to have one more move down, and then we need to count on a very strong recovery phase. Now, here's a very important point for you. In terms of classic technical analysis, meaning supports and resistances from weekly and daily time frame at the same time, we are having this unbelievably important support between 0.0048 to about, let's say, 0.0058. And I do not care what is going to happen in this area in Telcoin and whether this is our final low or maybe we're going to have one more move down. One way or the other, I do not want to see Telcoin getting a break of this unbelievably important support, because at that point the picture is really going to get complicated and we need to maybe even consider some other possibilities indicating Telcoin might actually go down for quite a bit. But as long as we're not doing that, I think we can stick with our optimistic scenario suggesting this whole move is a correction, and after it's over, we are going to have another huge move on the upside in order to take the highest side in here for the first target around 1.3 cents. But I think we can absolutely go quite a bit higher than that, because right around these areas, we don't really have a lot of strong resistances. And I think the next target can be somewhere around the 2 cents area. Also, if you do not want to be involved in any kind of short-term price action in Telcoin, then okay, you need to wait a little bit more and see off of the lowest low a very strong 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure on the upside, and that could be a great sign suggesting the final low is already in. But I promise you, right in here is not going to be a buy or maybe long opportunity for us. Why is that? Okay, here's a question. What happens after an impulse up? You know it, if you are a regular viewer, we're gonna have some sort of a move down. And if this is going to be like a slow and choppy move, okay, that's a characteristic of a corrective movement, indicating this is absolutely a bullish setup. And on a higher degree, we are having a 1, 2. And what's going to happen next? Probably a huge move up into wave 3 and 4 and 5. So let's have our final conclusion and wrap up today's update about TEL. Overall, I think we are, at least for now, right on the bullish track, and there isn't really a whole lot to be worried about around the current price action. Even if we get something like this, maybe like another move down from here, even at that point, I'm not really going to be worried. The moment that you're going to see me talking maybe a bit bearish on Telcoin is when we get a candle close under this very important support on weekly time frame, and then we do a pullback, and followed by that a continuation of the move down in order to take this low. As long as we're not doing this, I think we can remain absolutely optimistic in Telcoin and wait for another beautiful phase of the bull run to start, probably from the current area. Now, in the short term, having said that, again, there is a chance that we may see one more move down, but even that one shouldn't really get you worried, because odds are on a higher degree. Maybe we're going to have like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave down into a higher degree wave 5. And that 5 wave down is going to be into a C leg of an expanded flat, indicating that again, overall, our move down in TEL is over. So for now, we are absolutely on the bullish track, and I'm hoping that the current move down in Telcoin is just going to be something like this one, which happened to be just a simple fake out. And what happened next, as you can see, from this point, we got an impulse up, correction down, and another big move on the upside. And another example is going to be right in here. Okay, as you can see, this was just a simple fake out, and we got some more moves on the upside. Let's hope for something like this to happen, and also at the same time, our move up to be hopefully in form of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave impulsive structure. And then fair enough, if we get some sort of a move down, that's probably going to be just a simple retest of this important level in order to gather the fuel for another beautiful move on the upside. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in Telcoin's chart. Anyway, if you found any value in my content, I would really appreciate if you like this video and consider subscribing to my channel and follow me on Twitter. And if you want more, maybe you want a complete analysis for your own specific crypto, or maybe you want to learn some decent TA in order to be able to make good money in the markets, you can become a member and ask me anything you want. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.